The first thing people noticed about the man who walked into Rusty's bar that cold evening wasn't his face or his height. It was his clothes. Faded jeans. A wool jacket with a small tear on the sleeve. Shoes scuffed at the heel. No one looking at him would have guessed that he wasn't just wealthy, but one of the youngest millionaires in the city. And that was exactly what he wanted. Ethan Blake loved his businesses, but hated the way people treated him when they knew who he was. Every compliment felt rehearsed. Every conversation felt strategic. So once a month, he went out dressed like this, quiet, unnoticed, free. But tonight would be different. The bar was dim, warm, humming with soft chatter. Behind the counter stood a young waitress with tired eyes, but a bright, genuine smile. Her name tag read, Lily. She approached him with the kind of warmth people usually reserve only for friends or family. Long day? She asked kindly, noticing how he rubbed his temples. You could say that, Ethan replied, keeping his voice low. Lily nodded. What can I get you? And don't worry about prices. We all have those days. That simple sentence hit him harder than it should have. She didn't know him, yet she offered comfort without judgment. He swallowed. Honestly. What's the cheapest thing on the menu? He asked, testing her. She glanced over the options, then closed the menu gently. How about this? She said softly. I'll make you something warm on the house. You look like you need it more than the bar needs the money. Ethan blinked in surprise. People rarely did that, even when he dressed normally. Are you sure? He asked. She shrugged with a soft grin. It's just soup. My boss won't fire me for feeding someone who looks frozen. But Lily was wrong about that, as she disappeared behind the kitchen door. The bar manager, Greg, spotted the interaction. Greg was the type who counted every penny twice and still suspected someone was stealing from him. Lily. He snapped when she returned with a steaming bowl. Why is that man getting free food? He looked like he needed it, she replied calmly. This is a business, not a charity. You want to pay for his meal yourself? Without hesitating, she pulled out her wallet. Ethan watched, stunned. Greg walked away, muttering under his breath, leaving Lily to place the bowl in front of Ethan. Sorry about that, she murmured. Some people don't understand compassion. Ethan couldn't find the right words. All he managed was, thank you. As he ate, he watched her move from table to table. Even with exhaustion in her steps, she treated every person like they mattered. She refilled glasses before customers asked. She apologized for delays that weren't her fault. She slipped extra napkins onto tables when she noticed spilled drinks. She even stepped outside during her break to give a sandwich to a man sitting alone on the curb. Ethan's chest tightened. People like her weren't common. People who gave, even when they had little. When she returned to check on him, he finally asked, Why do you do all that? You don't know these people, Lily smiled gently. I know what it's like to feel invisible, she said. If I can make someone's day a little easier, maybe they won't feel the way I used to. The honesty in her words shook him. Used to? He asked. She hesitated, then sighed. I lost my mom 2 years ago. Dad left long before that. Everything fell on me overnight. Rent, bills, life. I worked 2 jobs, nearly lost both when I got sick. Some nights, I didn't know if I could keep going, but a few strangers were kind to me when they didn't have to be. I want to be that for someone else. Ethan stared at her, speechless. Later, as he prepared to leave, Lily handed him the bill. It was barely anything. You forgot to charge me for the soup, he pointed out. She shook her head. No, that one stays off the list. He reached for his wallet, unsure if he should reveal who he was. But before he could speak, the manager stormed over again. That's it, Lily. You're done, Greg barked. I told you before, no free meals, no exceptions. Go get your things. Lily's face paled. Greg, please. I need this job. I don't care. Rules are rules. The silence that followed felt thick and heavy. Ethan stood slowly, his voice calm. Excuse me, he said to Greg. How much does she make in a month? Greg frowned. What does it matter to you? Tell me. About 1,200. Ethan nodded. I'll pay you 10,000 right now if you sign a letter saying she left on her own. Greg blinked, eyes widening. Are you insane? Ethan reached into his jacket and pulled out a sleek black card. Charge it. The manager snatched the card and hurried toward the register. Lily stared at Ethan, confusion written across her face. Why would you do that? He smiled gently. Because you were willing to lose your job to help someone you thought was broke. And because I'm not who I look like. He pulled out his real wallet, the one he never brought out on nights like this. Inside was a platinum card with his real name, Ethan Blake, owner of 4 restaurants, investor in 3 chains, and, most importantly, the silent partner of Rusty's bar. Lily's eyes widened. You own this place. Part of it, he said. Enough to hire and fire? And Lily, you're not fired. Tears welled in her eyes. Ethan, I don't understand. He handed her a small envelope. This is for you. With shaking hands, she opened it. Inside was a job offer from one of his upscale restaurants across town. The salary was triple what she earned now. Benefits included paid time off, health insurance, and even tuition support. I've seen many employees, Ethan said softly. Few care as much as you do. People like you make places better. You deserve more than this bar gives. Lily covered her mouth, tears slipping down her cheeks. I don't know what to say. Say yes, he whispered, and let someone be kind to you for a change. She stepped forward and hugged him tightly. It was the kind of hug that carried gratitude, relief, and hope all at once. When she finally pulled back, Ethan added, Oh, and Greg won't be your boss anymore. I'm assigning someone else tomorrow. Lily laughed through her tears. Good. I think he hated everyone, Ethan chuckled. I think he hated himself. Months later, Lily's life looked nothing like before. She was managing her own team, studying part-time, and slowly rebuilding the dreams she once thought she had lost. Ethan visited the restaurant often not as her boss, but as her friend. And every time she saw him, she remembered the night a stranger walked in looking broke, but left giving her a future she'd never imagined. In the end, the message was simple but powerful. Kindness given freely always finds its way. Sometimes. From the most unexpected places. Sometimes from the man who tested your heart without you even knowing. And sometimes, smallest act like a bowl of soup can change an entire life. For more heart-touching and inspiring stories. Make sure to subscribe. Your one click keeps these stories alive.